Are you ready to put your relationships to the ultimate test?
Future ex-girlfriend.
Damn good with my hands.
Hey, let them boys eat.
Or else, these guys just go on the sex TV.
This is our Hail Mary. Outside perspective, this seems nuts.
Some girls are funny, some girls are hot. Both.
Do any of these fine-ass girls in this house fit my threesome fantasy? Yeah.
Wait, what?
Has anyone else seen the latest season of Temptation Island? It is definitely my guilty pleasure right now. I want to give a spoiler warning. We're going to talk about everything about the show, the beginning, the end, and where everyone is now. So if that's something that you don't want to know yet, please go watch the season first and then come on back and let me know what you think. This season, 3 out of the 4 men cheat very fast, and it becomes pretty clear that the main theme for this season is the sunk cost fallacy for relationships. Now, the sunk cost fallacy can absolutely apply to almost anything. When you put so much into something, you want to see a return. And unfortunately, that seems to be very clear for a lot of these relationships. We're gonna talk all about the season and where they are along that line of the sunk cost fallacy. We're gonna go from the least interesting to the most interesting, and this is more of a compliment than you might think. I do want to say this is all my opinion, and the clips are for fair use and commentary. Don't go harass anybody on this. Just let me know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for more candid videos like this one. Like the video if you like it. Let me know if you think that any of the couples should have stayed together.
My guilty pleasure is sucking dick.
I'm here to lay down more than just blueprints.
Buddy.
She's already stretched.
Are you willing to throw that away for girls you just met?
What if it all works out and you get everything you ever wanted?
Oh, shit. Someone's fucking.
Hey, no cameras.
No cameras allowed.
No
Get out.
cameras.
So I just am gonna decline the date.
Get some originality, at least.
This is like my first time crying here.
In case you haven't watched the show, I just want to tell you a little bit about how Temptation Island works. Temptation Island is basically where these 4 couples who already have kind of a rough relationship come onto the show and do this make or break thing, a Hail Mary, if you will, where they want to see if they can withstand the test of their relationship of being apart and with a bunch of singles. So what they do is they separate the couples. They put the boys on one side, the girls on one side, and they give them both their own singles. They got 12 girls for the guys and 12 guys for the girls. Very hetero, I know, but it's still enjoyable. They go on dates, party a bunch, talk with other singles about their relationships, their problems. Maybe they cheat on their partners, who knows. They also go to these bonfire sessions where they can see a little bit about what their partner is doing. And they like to throw a little pinch of therapy in there if therapy was also a producer. Then they also put these tents in the backyard called Temptation Havens. They allow the partners to go back there without any cameras, still with audio, but without any cameras, and do whatever they want in the tent. But then the other house, the one that has your actual partner and all of the other couples' partners, will start flashing red and an alarm will go off. It becomes toxic pretty fast, and probably the reason it only lasted an episode. And then right after that Haven episode, they're allowed to send their partner a video of how they feel or what's going on, or trying to explain something to their partner if they want to. And I think more people got videos than they deserve. As the season goes along, they eliminate different singles so that it gets more and more intimate until the final date with that one single that is partially not on camera. So it gets interesting.
I think we make rules to make ourselves feel better today.
Don't touch the cookie jar, you touch the cookie jar.
No, I don't want to lose everything that we built.
I feel like I can breathe. The love isn't going away.
Honestly, best date I've had in a long, long time.
I feel like I've been trying to hold on to Graham so hard and for so long.
I know you don't want to be in this position to have to make this choice, but you are being forced to.
I want this relationship so bad to work. Now that I've been through all of this, I want it to be worth it.
Honestly, feeling relieved.
All I can feel is like that I can breathe right now.
All of this work that we've been doing over the past few years is just all for nothing.
Not since I met him.
I think that she's kind of holding on.
I feel like building a romantic connection is scary.
To what she knows versus what her heart's telling her. I like to think I wasn't just fighting for nothing.
Watch him fuck up time and time again, but he always tries to come back.
Your past is not your present and isn't going to be your future.
What are we fighting for?
It's just wild to me that I can love somebody for as long as I did and it just end up in this way.
I do deserve so much more, and I can give that love to the right person and stop putting all my energy into the wrong people.
The sunk cost fallacy is a cognitive bias where individuals will continue to give time, resources, effort towards something that is not giving them return because they've already invested in it. So you've already put money into this, you already put time into this, you put so much emotions and effort into this. So we need to make sure this relationship works. If you've been working on it for 2.5 years, on and off, emotionally exhausted, Tyler and Taylor, you want to stay because you want it to be worth something in the end. You can see that a lot of the different couples will talk about that, how they've put so much work into this relationship. They've already forgiven their partner for past infidelities. They've already tried to move forward in different ways. They have to keep investing because if they don't, it's all for nothing. And that's a cognitive bias that a lot of us have. And it's a lot of reasons why people stay in bad relationships, bad jobs, bad deals in general. It's very easy to do because once you start investing, you want to see that return. But the problem is, just because you invest more does not make the relationship less toxic. It can get even worse when you're in an abusive relationship. It takes someone 7 to 12 times on average to leave a bad and abusive relationship. People really struggle to leave, especially when they have all of these memories. They have all these ideas of their future, of what things were gonna be, maybe a hope of something from the past to cling on to. But the problem is you can't live in the past. You have to live in your life current and look to the future. Just because you invest more doesn't mean it's gonna change. Also, the brain has evolved to crave familiarity, to feel that safety. So sometimes we can get really stuck in just doing the same things that we usually do because our brain is telling us that's safe, that's comfortable. But if you're unhappy, you might need to look in a different direction that maybe feels a little less safe right now, but will be so much better in the long run.
If I had it my way, I would already be engaged.
I'm really scared to lose Alexa.
Feel guilt from that.
Those things weren't even in her mind before me.
Work on my own individual journey.
Is that not love?
I know Lino loves me before any of this.
There's only one me, and I've come to realize there's only one Alexa.
Oh wait, lift it off my shoulders.
I'm choosing her.
She's my first love, and she'll be my last love.
The first couple is Alexa and Lino, the most boring couple on Temptation Island. A big compliment, actually. The only ones that didn't cheat. Round of applause. The bar's in hell, but round of applause. They seem to have a lot of issues, specifically with career and moving. They'd moved a lot for Alexis's job because she was a travel nurse. They were kind of nervous about where that was taking them. Lino seemed to be upset about how much he was giving career-wise. And Alexa really wanted that commitment. She wanted to be engaged. She wanted to be with him. He was just less certain. And one of the reasons was because he hadn't had a lot of serious relationships. When they went on the show, neither of them cheated. Round of applause. But they also seemed to focus on themselves and where they needed to grow as individuals, especially Alexa. Now, the only thing is that the question is, did Lino not cheat or did no one want Lino? Please let me know in the comments what you think, but I've heard both. The first time I watched it through, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy would have cheated if someone would have just said yes. Or if the girls that he liked wouldn't have just gone after other guys, like, right away. But he didn't cheat. That's something that I think could potentially just be editing to make it more interesting. I don't know. When we're talking about the other couples, I can tell you, editing can't really fix that. They worked through a lot of personal issues during their time there and found that it wasn't that they were giving too much to the relationship and it was a bad relationship like the sunk cost fallacy, as we're going to see in a lot of these other couples, but they had a lot of their own personal issues to work through, and once they worked through that, they seemed to actually be able to have a good solid relationship. Not only did they stay together, but they got engaged at the end. They plan on getting married in Sorrento, Italy in fall of 2026, so they're still together and moving forward. So congratulations to you guys.
I did end up falling into temptation.
Why can't I just be enough just the way that I am?
Put me in this position to be this way, and then you end up hating me for it.
Maybe getting close to a guy like on day 3.
I'm more worried about how she's painting our relationship. You're trouble. You're trouble.
So for him to use those exact same words when we kissed for the very first time, Tyler has bitch tendencies.
I ain't catching feelings, bro. Oh shit, my relationship is over. That rolls off the tongue, guys. Come on, okay.
Honestly, this is my worst nightmare.
Tyler has blatantly said, I don't know if I can meet your expectations. And I've just been like,
Why would you?
it's okay.
Yeah, no, that's an L on your part.
I have shed tears for almost 2.5 years. There's no more tears to shed over Tyler.
A risk worth taking. Silence speaks. I just got clowned.
There is no relationship to respect. I got exactly what I came here to get. I'm happy, at peace.
The first thing I want to wash off and kind of get rid of is the heaviness and all the stress that has come from my previous relationship.
You're a man, put the toilet seat down. This has been something we've been working on for like literally a year.
She can't see past this tiny stuff. Like, I'm done. done.
I have to find a way to fall out of love with him and back in love with myself.
Me being undervalued was one of the main issues we had in the relationship. Can I have a hug?
Next, we're going to talk about Taylor and Tyler. It became pretty clear pretty fast that these two just weren't a good fit. Taylor wanted someone that was going to provide for her, have these more like Southern values, a little bit of a red flag, but okay, and had like a lot of expectations about what she wanted for her life, which is totally fair. We all get one life. We should live it to the fullest, the way that we want to. But you have to find someone that fits with that. And it looked like Tyler had originally. Like when they first got together, he had a big apartment, a big job, all of these things, but he didn't want that to be his life. He wanted to go a different direction. And it seems like instead of them cutting loose, they've already given so much to it. They've given energy, they've given time, they've also, it seems like, given some money and financial resources on Taylor's end. It was really interesting because Tyler had been partially living with her for a little bit, or living off of her for a little bit, and he seemed very upset that she like claimed that on the show. Lame. Like, it's fine for you to depend on your partner. Sometimes you understand that your partner is in a different financial space than you and you need to depend on them, but she just wanted a 5-year plan. That seems reasonable to me. That's where it gets me. I'm a planner, so maybe that's just me, but I absolutely have to sit down with my partner and talk about where are we going in the next 5 years? What do we want for life? All of that kind of stuff. If you can't do that, I don't know if you're ready to make a life with someone else. I feel like if you're gonna go so free-spirited that you don't want to make any plan, you either gotta find someone that's exactly like that too, or do it on your own. The interesting thing about Tyler is that he didn't cheat physically right away. Now, I know that there were some issues with the lap dance, but comparatively to the other guys that cheat, he very much cheated emotionally. It seemed like he was really trying to find safety and reassurance that he wanted, which is another indicator to me that like maybe he needs to be alone for a little. When they left the island, not only did they separate, which I was super happy about, and Taylor ended up going home by herself, but then Tyler wanted to go home with his new emotional connection that he had made there, Kay. Kay looks a lot like Taylor. They look a lot alike. He clearly has a type. And it's really funny because at the beginning, she's like, oh, I know you're gonna pick her. You're definitely gonna pick her. He was like, no, I'm not. And like, I'm gonna prove I'm not by picking someone else for the first date. And then he like falls in love with her almost. But once they leave, from what Kay said, it just kind of fizzled out and she wasn't that into it and they did their own thing. And now, a couple years later, Tyler is with another person who looks a lot like both Taylor on the show and Kay on the show. Man, clearly has a type. And interestingly, Taylor has now dyed her hair back to brown, so she's no longer in Tyler's type pool. Their breakup is a really good reminder that even if you've put a lot of time and effort into a relationship, you've invested monetarily like Taylor had, you'd invested emotionally like they both had, you'd invested so much time, but that doesn't mean that you're a good fit. Not making either of them bad people, just not compatible people. Plus, she dyed her hair, so she's out.
I am deciding to be tempted, but to not give in.
So we have a lot of trust issues.
I chased her across the world to Greece. There was no way I was letting Ashley go.
They're all beautiful. If you guys can take them, you can have them.
Disrespecting me more.
See if she's grown and if she's able to let go of that resentment.
I have been staring at her lips nonstop, and I've been thinking about kissing her nonstop.
I could only imagine Ashley has not gone on a fun date with Grant in a long time.
I just don't want this to feel like I'm cheating.
Why would the universe give me this like piece of shit man?
I am not a bad guy.
Officially have a single girl in the house.
Completely forgive myself and give myself the grace. It's kind of wild that light is going to go off at our girlfriend's house.
I wanted you to carry me.
Next time, all right?
I would forgive Ashley, bro.
No, man, she's not gonna take you back.
If she's willing to put in that work, I'd marry Ashley one day.
There's a gap between what you're saying and what your actions are.
I have no words left for this child.
I've only focused on your feelings and have neglected my own, but I forgive you, and finally I forgive myself.
I thought he could change. I thought he could be better. He's just not.
But what I'm not going to apologize for is being who I am.
Next, we have Ashley and Grant, another crazy couple with a lot of infidelities on Grant's end. He has the weirdest story at the beginning that I feel like they're trying to make romantic, but it's just creepy. He cheats on Ashley within the first month of them being exclusive. Then when she finds out, he chases her around the world in like those dramatic airport romantic comedy scenes. Goes all the way to Greece and he tries to win her back, and apparently it works. This is an interesting cycle of grand gestures after major problems or issues that they've caused. And it's really easy to see how this can become cyclical as Grant fucks up and kisses someone or does something, and then he tries to win her back in this great gesture. So much so that even though they left separately at the end, they got back together. And now they're broken up again. It becomes really clear how easy it is to get stuck in those cycles, especially when you have all of these positive feelings about that person. You've been with them for so long. You care about them a lot. You've given emotionally. And once you forgive one infidelity, it becomes easier to forgive 2, 3, 4. And I'm not saying that you should never forgive someone that's cheated, but if it's a reoccurring pattern, they're just winning you back with grand gestures afterwards, that is a red flag as bright as day. That is the reddest flag. They both said that they were fighting for this relationship when they first got there, but it was pretty clear that the first day they were with singles, they were like, we don't know if this is gonna work. We don't know if we should be here. Which shows that when you talk with friends or just random somebody that's not your partner, a lot of times you can get to the conclusion that it's not working for you, but then you get back into that relationship and you have those feelings again, and it's a lot harder to distance yourself when you're actually in it. And that's kind of one of the reasons I like Temptation Island. It takes the couples away from each other and kind of forces them to be their own people. And sometimes that can really allow people to see some of the big cracks in their relationship. Or they just get to watch someone else fuck somebody in a shower and then they leave. As the show went on, it seems like both of them kind of realizing it wasn't a good relationship, they shouldn't be in it. But then Grant goes and fucks someone else. He makes out with her, and then he fucks her, and then he kind of tells her he has like an emotional connection, but then kind of doesn't. And then he's like, well, maybe Ashley will forgive me. All the boys are like, no, dude, I wouldn't forgive you. That's literally what the other guys say. And the guys are so supportive of each other, even when they're like assholes. So that's hilarious. Also, what was so interesting is he would say one thing where he would kind of put all the blame on Ashley. He would be like, yeah, she's just not forgiving me. She's just so resentful, guys. As I'm actively cheating on her, she's resentful. Isn't that horrible? What do you expect? Forgiveness isn't guaranteed. The idea that your partner resentfulness of something that happened is the main problem, while it's continuing to happen, seems kind of fucked up. After, when they finally get to the end, he says that he's going to leave by himself, and Ashley ends up leaving with Danny, a connection that she made on the show. Thought they were kind of cute. But after they left the show, it seems that Grant got back with Natalie, who was the original connection he made on the show, and then cheated on her with Ashley. Does this man know how not to cheat for like 5 seconds? Cheating on Natalie with Ashley, which is honestly kind of ironic. And they ended up getting back together for a little bit, which just shows how hard that pull is. How hard that sunk cost fallacy of, I've already given this person so much love, so much care, so much of myself. You feel the need to hold on to them. Maybe we can make this work. Maybe we can make this better. But when you have someone as cyclical as Grant's cheating, it's not gonna change. In my opinion, Ashley and Grant are textbook sunk cost fallacy in their relationships where they eventually break up. Hopefully stay broken up. We'll see. But there's another couple who is also textbook sunk cost fallacy, but stayed together.
I am not naive to the situation that I'm in.
And then I realized the grass isn't greener.
Test forward it's a little scary.
Gonna be a lot of prayer.
Stay strong.
This is y'all's second round.
Either of us crossed the boundary, we said it's done deal. Yeah. He's the one that wanted to come here. He just friends with women, and he's not really starting off with a great job.
Bro, I fuck full friend group.
I like to watch before I indulge.
Last night was a good night. I just had a threesome with Courtney and Alex. I think I'd wake up with any regret or anything, and I don't. I think I'm still respecting Shante at the end of the day. Now I'm like, how do we get Angel and Amaya in the shower as well?
I love my girl, but this was not.
You think she's gonna forgive you?
Yeah.
That's very confident.
The real question is, why wouldn't you? I'm glad it happened. Enjoyed every second of it.
But I don't regret it. I don't need to make a case to her. I feel like I can go up there and apologize, and she's probably still gonna stay.
To say that he doesn't have any regret is sad.
She's like, well, he wouldn't normally do this if we weren't here, but we are here, and you did it.
I feel uncomfy.
And I can't wait to be the man that you dream of having. I'm ready to love you deeply, emotionally, and passionately.
I just wish every everything he said was how he acted this entire time.
You expressing that you don't have any regret genuinely crushed me.
There's grace, forgiveness, understanding, anger.
On this journey, I've realized Brion has been the issue. I want her. She is a great woman. She doesn't need me. I've learned to understand the things I went through as a child and how I used, other women to fill the spots of love that I didn't have growing up.
Last but certainly not least, we have Shante and Brion. They had the largest compilation of weird clips that I could find. And a lot of them is just the disrespect that Brion has towards not only his partner, but women in general. They'd been together for about a year. They met through someone at their church. And within the first little bit of their relationship, he actually ended up leaving Shante for someone else and then came right on back. There's a little bit of mistrust because of that. Also, Brian loves talking about threesomes. I've never heard the word threesome so many times out of one person's mouth. He had already cheated on her, and this was their last chance. They say so multiple times at the beginning that this is a big test to prove that he can be just friends with women.
We're sorry.
And then he talks about how he fucks whole friend groups. So clearly that lasted. Brian was the one that had them come on to the show, and Shante was doing it because she was hoping that it would prove to her and she could regain that trust in him. But then not only does he speak disrespectfully about her and all of the other women, well, she speaks too positively about him, but he then also goes and has a threesome. Afterwards says he has no regret, that he's glad he did it because now he doesn't have to hold it over Shantae's head anymore. You know what? You don't have to hold anything over anyone's head. Whoa, novel concept, but you can just love your partner for how they are. If you need to have threesomes in your life, just fucking leave. He also does a lot of contradictory things where he expects this godly woman out of his partner, but then allows himself to kind of do whatever he wants. He will never apologize for just being himself. He also consistently lies to different women that are on the show, the different singles that he's talking to. Makes me feel bad for them as well. He just treats them less than. The crazy thing is he expected forgiveness. When Courtney asked, oh, do you think she'll forgive you for the threesome? He said, oh yeah, why wouldn't she? The host was like, are you going to be able to make that case to her that it's not a big deal or that you've moved on, you don't need threesomes anymore? He's like, I don't have to make a case. She'll probably just come back to me. Which is honestly almost more disrespectful than the thing you did. It was almost like he expected, because she was a good, godly Christian woman, that she would forgive him. He seemed to take advantage of the love that she had for him in order to do what he wanted, and he expected it would work out. And the saddest thing is that when we get to the end, it seems like she's still so torn. And you can just see the whole entire time the love that she has for him and the desire to make it work, almost more than her desire to care for herself. And at the end, she ends up choosing to stay with him. He kind of begs. Which, at least we got to see him beg a little bit. He explains everything. He says, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. He blames his childhood. I'm not saying that it wasn't a horrible childhood, but a lot of us had bad childhoods, and that does not mean we're gonna go have threesomes with everybody. But okay. Says, oh, I want to be with you. I know I can give you everything you want now. And her whole thing was like, that's what this was supposed to be. This Temptation Island was you proving that to me. And he's like, well, I'll prove it to you after. She just gets overwhelmed. It's everything that she ever wanted in front of her face. Him being emotional, him opening up, him saying that he promises to commit to her. It's all the things she wanted, but after he had done these horrible things to her. And you can just tell she's very overwhelmed. She ends up asking to take a break. She says that she wants to go home by herself, and then crumbles and says that she wants to go home with him instead, and he is so overjoyed. It seems like they're still together to this day. I hope for her sake that he's treating her well, but I would be surprised. I do want to say as well that Shantae's been getting some crap thrown at her, not standing up for herself like Ashley or Taylor did, but I do have to say that Bren was very manipulative in my opinion, as was Grant, and I can very easily see how you can get stuck in that toxic cycle. That sunk cost fallacy really pushes you into it, where you've given so much, you care so much for them, especially when there's the added pressure of Christian forgiveness on top of that. I wouldn't have made the same decision as Shante, at least I think I wouldn't, but I understand the decision that she made. Do I think it was a fallacy? Yes. But do I understand how she got there? 100%. In my opinion, this is a pattern of sunk cost fallacy where they don't break up. A lot of people stay in unhappy marriages, unhappy relationships, and a lot of that is because they've given so much love, care. When you've already forgiven them for infidelities in the past, you've invested so much into this, you can't pull out now. But sometimes you just gotta lay your chips down and walk away from it too.
Scared shitless.
You so much.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
You played me, and more importantly, you played yourself.
But it's not anything that you can hold over my head anymore.
Like our love never mattered.
I also was tempted by someone else on this island. Phil sees my value.
I forgive you, and I forgive myself.
First, I want to apologize.
I hate that I'm the one that has hurt you so much.
And they got me emotional as hell these days.
I truly do not have a lot to say to you.
I just feel kind of like hopeless with you.
Just give me the opportunity. I'm asking if you still love me.
I was just holding on to you so fucking hard.
I have a second.
Proving you right means that we're both gonna go in the right direction. I'll take that, okay?
I know you're a fucking catch. Come on.
Right now, I have to choose myself.
I hate that it doesn't work.
Only if I were with me.
Oh my God. Oh, goodness. Promise. I'll build your trust.
Will you marry me?
Now, this show is crazy, but it does such a good job of showing how you really need to focus on your own individual future in order to work together as a couple. The one couple that stays together is one that really both work on themselves and then come together at the end. And all of the other couples seem to get stuck at some point in the cost sunk fallacy where either they're able to walk away, they walk away for a little bit and then go back and then walk away again, or they stay. When you are stuck in a bad situation, really important to talk with family and friends or just other people outside of your relationship, someone that hasn't put in that investment. Like you've put in that investment, you have that emotional, financial, whatever investment you've put in, so you feel that. But when you ask other people outside of the relationship that haven't, it's a little bit easier seeing if the future is something you want, because you can't change the past. That's like one of the hardest things I've learned in life is you can't change the past. You live in the present and you plan for the future. If your past is the happiest part of your relationship, it might not be a good one.
My actions were a reaction to your behavior.
And you did the exact opposite. You wasted no time.
You're a serial cheater.
You don't do that to someone you love. You shouldn't have done that to someone you love.
So yes, as soon as the first 72 hours happened here, I began to crumble immediately.
I've neglected my own feelings for a long time.
So when you were in the shower with that girl, you were thinking about my feelings?
No.
I probably put you before myself.
I found what true love is.
I said from day one, you're gonna fold like a card table, and you just proved me right time after time.
I cannot believe I held on to someone like you for that long.
I have this gut trust.
Your actions are your actions, and your words don't match.
I need a plan, and I will shut the fuck up.
How do you think I feel?
I want to say I really appreciate everybody that watches my videos and that subscribes. I'm a very small channel and I'm working on getting better and better with every video. I am actually in the process of moving, so that's why we got a kind of a blank background right now, and you might see some different backgrounds from time to time. And remember, break free. The rest of your life is waiting.
There's hot people at the grocery store.
Still married legally at the time.
Grant is just not typically someone that I would go for.
Got it. They can't be one up and up. We're not all perfect Christians here.
I think your shorts could be a little shorter.
Ashley chose arrogance.
You're also very arrogant, so.
You want a godly woman, but you like threesomes. You love your woman, but you don't open up to her.
Dumbass.
Is he crazy?
He's honestly always contradicting himself.
She's choosing to not let go of the resentment. She's choosing not to move forward. So the silence speaks louder than words.
How do you sound right now, dumb?
Such a weird guy.
How is this girl putting up with him if he does this?
You guys choose each other at the end.
It's already a good sign. You're still here.